Once the reshuffle of the species that would attend the Water Summit was complete, and those present met near Surkesh, the Normandy became neutral ground to discuss Krogan involvement. With one of Shepard's old friends from the Normandy SR1, Erdnot Rex, representing the Krogan, Shepard already had a hypothetical majority on her side, and Rex's initial terms were simple. If he were to throw the Krogan clans against the Reapers, then he expected the genophage to be cured, which was met with an immediate counter by Solarian Dalatras Lindwan, only for her to be aggressively outvoted by Shepard and Victus, who forced her to reluctantly greenlight a mission to recover Krogan females involved in a previous attempt to cure it. Rex's mere presence at the summit was likely based out of pragmatism for the bigger picture, with advanced forces of Reapers having landed on Tuchanka in scouting actions, as cited by some of the other clans. Once planetside, a seemingly simple pickup turned into a pitched battle, not against the Reapers but instead Cerberus. Theorised by Mordin to have been assisted by an indoctrinated member of the base's personnel, their objective was believed to destroy the alliance between the Taurians and Krogan before it could even begin. But they were narrowly defeated. With Rex demanding that the cure be implemented before he would mobilise any Krogan, he and Victus both brought up their own issues that required Shepard's personal attention, while they used the Normandy as a mobile base to coordinate their respective forces. In an unknown region of the galaxy, several of the Systems Alliance fleets had regrouped with Hackett as the construction of the Prothean device discovered by Liara began to accelerate, being labelled Project Crucible, with its progress being connected to the Normandy's war room. Even this early into the conflict, Liara was setting up precautions in the event that their efforts failed, preparing a series of data packs on the Normandy about the Reapers, the Crucible, and the various civilizations of the current cycle that would later be deployed to various worlds, where at least some would remain hidden from the Reapers. Initially occupied by the Reapers around the same time as Earth, the human colony of Benning began seeing attacks from Cerberus. After the initial squads that were sent in response were faced with failure and forced to withdraw, Hackett sent Shepard to establish a foothold for further N7 teams to be deployed to the planet to aid the Octorus 1st Division in their attempts to liberate the planet from the Reapers and Cerberus. Reaching Tuchanka, Shepard used the time waiting for the genophage cure's development to investigate a downed Taurian ship Victus had referenced. After rescuing the remaining Taurians, led by Victus's son, Shepard discovered that their mission was to secure and disable a contingency device planted on Tuchanka at the end of the Krogan rebellions, as a backup in the event that the genophage failed. This device caught the interest of Cerberus, which deployed a sizable force in an attempt to use it, along with deploying another unit to an ancient Krogan cannon system with the likely intention of using it as a staging point to aid the main force. With these skirmishes won by Shepard's squad, the genophage cure had become viable to use. The only question was how to deploy it. Briefly running through the options, Mordin Solus quickly realised that the only viable option was the shroud facility that had originally spread the genophage. Nearing the site, though, Shepard was faced with two hurdles: a Reaper blocking the path, and the Dalatras suggesting that Shepard sabotage the cure in exchange for Solarian support. Due to being unable to mobilise the Krogan fast enough, the initial plan to distract the Reaper failed, leaving the Taurian Starfighter Wing fighting the Reaper alone. After Shepard navigated her way through an underground Krogan city, Eve, the Krogan female key to the genophage cure, formed the idea to draw Kalos, the mother of all Threshamores in Krogan society, to the Reaper. Following advice from her and Rex, Shepard's squad was forced to narrowly dodge the Reaper to summon the Threshamore, which swarmed it and was eventually able to bring it down while Mordin completed the cure. However, by the time Shepard reunited with him, he needed to go up to the shroud itself to disable the countermeasures that would have rendered the cure inoperable had Shepard sided with the Dalatras, an act that would become Mordin's sacrifice as the shroud crumbled around him. With that, the Krogan were freed from a curse that had plagued them in countless ways for over 1,000 years, and Rex was more than willing to start sending Krogan to the fight, with the promise to be there for Shepard when the time was right. Before returning to Palaven, Victus made similar promises and dedicated the Taurian 7th Fleet to help defend the Crucible's construction. After Shepard defied her, the Dalatras held back most of the Solarian Union's forces, and those that were formally ordered to fight merely prioritised defending access routes to Solarian space, such as a skirmish near Novaria after Shepard had taken out a Cerberus fighter base, But even these were rare, as some Solarians had been strongly opposed to the idea of aiding any other species early into the conflict, even the fellow members of the Citadel Council. Aside from that, all that the wider galaxy would be given for the fight were the several Solarian operatives that placed pragmatism over the short-sighted arrogance of those that chose to stay out of the fight. Back on Earth, meanwhile, the Reapers' occupation was secure enough that they had begun to move in and construct hundreds of what the galaxy termed processor ships. Similar in function to devices found at the Collector base by Shepard, but intended for long-term storage instead of being used to full and under-construction Reaper core. These ships alone led to over 1 million human casualties each day. Aside from those able to actively avoid Reaper hotspots like Anderson's forces, indoctrination was also starting to kick in, making it even easier for the Reapers to control those trapped on Earth.